original hard iced tea by East Coast Metal Roofing and by Fletcher Granite. And he joins us on the Harbor One hotline. Bubs Edelman, what's going on?
What's going on, guys?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I mean, considering with everything that's going on, I'm doing all right.
All right. Ken said you were all over me last week about having my golf tournament in an irresponsible manner. I mean, state of Connecticut allows you to have less than 100 people. I'm not sure where you're going with that, but I felt like we ought to address it right off the bat.
Hey, I mean, we have people stuck in bubbles, got testing procedures, be family members. I mean, but go ahead, have your awesome golf tournament.
It was awesome, though. I was there, Julian. It was pretty.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Wiggy had fun.
Yeah, I did have a good time.
Wiggy absolutely had fun. Well, I want to start with the quarterback situation and get your thoughts on the three guys that are in camp. And when you look at each one of those guys, let's start with Cam Newton. Tell us a little bit about what he's like, and was he what you expected or not?
Cam's a very energetic, very hardworking guy. He's got a vibe about him that is very electric when it comes just everyday life. He's fun to be around. So it's been fun getting to know him and getting to play some football with him. And you hear everything before he got here of how this, how that, but the experience and get to know him on a personal side. I mean, he's a pretty cool human being. Like, plain out, swaggy, drip always. I mean, this guy, he's just a superstar.
You were you were busting him a little bit in the off season about playbook and calculus, and we played some audio earlier from Boomer Esiason, who believes that Jarrett Stidham will be the starter because this system is so difficult to learn. Give us your impression of Cam as far as where he is at learning this system. That's not really my role. I'm not an evaluator. I'm just going to go out and work hard for whoever's distributing the football. But Cam's played a lot of football, and he's played in a lot of big games with some big lights. And, he's performed well at a very high level. So you can take that with what it is. I mean, Stid, he's a smart kid. Hoy's been in the system for a while. They're all competing their tails off, just like we're doing in our room. Everyone's just competing right now, trying to get back into football shape, and have an outlet to go out and kind of get to play a game that'll take you away from what's really going on right now. But if it was your job, and you had to name a starter after what you've seen up to this point, who would it be?
Oh, Greg, that's so above my payroll.
I see. Above your pay grade?
Yeah, I think that's up there.
Pay grade, payroll, all those. Hey, I'm just a receiver, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I just receive rock.
Well, Julian, you've received a lot of rocks throughout your career, and you've been a guy that's basically had to fight for everything you've got. Now you have a new quarterback. Who that is, we don't know. We won't ask you who that would be because we probably get the standard answer. But for somebody like yourself, do you have put more pressure on yourself to go out there and prove that I can be a great receiver regardless who the quarterback is, even though there's no Tom Brady before, which we know that you guys had a great relationship?
No, I don't think there's that. I think, as a football player, as a professional, the mindset you go in with a season is getting yourself prepared mentally, physically, emotionally for the grind of an NFL season. I mean, you know that with it's not easy. It's not easy. And every year you go into a season, regardless of where you are in your career, there's always, you're always having to get yourself up for something. You know what I mean? It's just everyone's got a different source of, I guess, pressure in their career. Whether that's performing well, whether earning your role, earning a spot on the team, this, that, and the other. I think you're just more worried about what you can do to make yourself the best possible player you can be going into the season, and that's kind of my mindset. I'm of course there's different quarterback, but if I don't do my job to the best of my ability, then regardless of who's the quarterback, it doesn't matter.
Let's be honest, Bubs. Tom Brady is dead to you.
He's not dead to me.
He's
not
just
at
in
all,
Florida.
man.
No, he's dead to you. I mean, let's be honest. He was your binky, and now he's gone. He left you, and you're moving on. You have to move on in relationships.
Hey, we took my binky away from my daughter at 2. She's almost 4 now, and now she doesn't even really think about it, and now she goes to bed without it. I mean, that's just life. Life moves on.
It's true.
It happens. It happens. I mean, but we've seen. Do you feel like we're seeing a different Tom Brady? I mean, the guy was basically working behind the scenes to lure Gronk down there, and then he's sneaking over to coaches' houses to deliver footballs, and the guy is fired up, and it may be a different kind of guy.
Hey, you wish him the best, but I'm worried about the players in Foxborough, not in anywhere else. So
Okay, all right.
That's kind of where my mind is.
All right.
One of the things that stood out for me with the signing of Cam Newton, and I don't know the guy, but you're able to see him on a daily basis. And one of the things that I really didn't understand what people always, they always said something about Cam, like it was his personality. And I think it was like you talked about his swagger and his drip. And I feel like people feel like he could be phony at times. And I'm like, why do they do this to this guy just because he has a certain swagger to him? You're there with him every day. What's one of the things that really sticks out about Cam Newton that maybe has kind of, changed your mindset on knowing the guy on a daily basis versus, you only knew him from afar?
I mean, he just has a good energy about him. He's very energetic. He's got a lot of energy, and he makes it fun. He's always in a pretty good mood. From the time that he's been here, I can't speak on any other place or this, that, but for what I've seen and what I've learned, he seems like a guy that loves football and has an energy about him and enjoys it. He enjoys football. So, those are things that, hey, you love that being around you. So, because you're somewhat the same way. I love football. I may not be as energetic or swaggy as him.
Well, definitely not this morning, but yes.
Wow. Julian, in regards to Cam, what's he like in terms of coaching up receivers? Is he yelling at you? Is he supportive? How is he in terms of if you do something he doesn't like, or you guys are not on the same page?
I think it's an open forum with him. Hey, what did you see here? What do you see there? And it's very, I guess I've played a lot of football in this league too, and he's played a lot of football in this league, and it's more of a team. Hey, what do you think on here? Oh, I think here, this, that, and it's pretty good. It's pretty cool, I guess. It's one of those. I don't. That's how I answered the question. I don't know. This guy's got a good radio voice, though. This guy's got a good radio voice. Who is that?
All right, Ken
That's
Laird.
Ken Laird. Yeah, that's Ken Laird. We found out yesterday.
The radio voice.
We found out that Cam's nickname for N'Keal Harry is Doughboy. I'm wondering what his nickname for you is.
I think he calls me Highway 11.
Highway 11.
Really? All right.
Well, it's because you're always open.
I don't know. He just, hey, is Highway 11 here today?
Okay.
All right.
Gotta find that and get to the
Yeah.
bottom of nicknames for him. And that, do you put more pressure on yourself now that you're one of the guys that, when you look offensively, has been here forever and is, you don't have Brady no more? Do you put more pressure on yourself to take on more of a leadership role in the absence of a guy like Tom Brady?
I feel if I go out and work hard and show these guys that are newer to this team, kind of how we do things and how we prepare and how we take care of our body and all those things that I learned from guys like Kevin Falk and Troy Brown being around so much and the Teddy Bruschi's of the world. Of our team, I think that takes care of itself. Honestly, I haven't put any added pressure or any of that. I'm more worried about just going out and kind of being a guy that you can ask questions to, if you have them, and worry about what I can control, and that's going out and trying to make myself the best football player I can be. And if people see that, I mean, maybe it's contagious and they do the same thing. And if we all collectively do our job, that's usually when you have the best shots to go out and win football games. So that's how I kind of handle or think about that.
Julian Edelman is our guest, and the Twisted Question of the Week is brought to you by Twisted Tea, the original hard iced tea and the ultimate day drinking beverage. Get some Twisted Tea for the games this weekend. Keep it twisted. And question comes from Ken Laird, the guy with the great radio voice.
There you go. Well, two-parter, Julian. You tweeted out the picture of you as Batman and Cam Newton as Superman, which got a lot of attention this week. First of all, how much thought did you put into who was going to be which superhero? And the obvious second follow-up is, given that you're Batman, best Batman casting in a movie ever.
I mean, Ken, great radio voice, but I mean, have you not? The guy that there's like so many inceptions of this one. Cam has been known as Superman, right?
Right,
Ken. So you're obviously gonna make him that.
Okay.
Batman. There's a couple things, a couple sound bits of me saying I'm Batman. So we kind of just rolled with that. May not have the special superpowers, but always finds a way to get it done.
Right.
Type of guy. And obviously Bale and the Chris Nolan Batmans were amazing, but I'm also gonna give a close 1B to Keaton.
Really?
I like
wow.
Keaton.
Really?
Kent State. I grew up loving those movies. The original Batman with Jack Nicklaus and Michael Keaton, and then those were always. I loved those movies when I was a kid, so I'll give a 1A and a 1B.
Wow.
1A is Bale and 1B is Keaton.
Well, you'll be happy to hear Michael Keaton is going to be reprising his role as Batman in another Batman movie. So should be.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he
he
is. Him and Ben Affleck actually in the Flash movie. So maybe that's something that you'll be happy about. Michael Keaton putting the.
Did you see the new one? The new trailer, the new one with
Yep.
the white guy?
Yeah, with Robert. What is it? Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. Looks pretty good, man.
He's kind of like they're calling him the emo Batman. He's
The
like
emo.
he's the emo Batman.
Yeah. Everyone's going wild about it, but I'm not that wild about it yet.
Oh,
It was the
okay.
trailer that came out.
You didn't like the
I don't
trailer?
know, man. It was all right. It's kind of dark. It's kind of like the Joker whole thing. It's bad, but it's going to be hard to top those Christopher Nolan Batmans. And the nostalgic factor of the older ones with Keaton. I mean, those were like the first ones since the TV show. So it's those two specific Batmans or trilogies and series have a little spot in my heart. This new one's I'm going in with low expectations. Hopefully, it'll exceed them. You know what I mean?
Right. Who is Jarrett Stidham?
The new Stid on the block.
Yeah. Would he be Robin or Alfred or
Maybe somebody else.
Jimmy Olsen? Or, I mean, who is he in this scenario?
Oh, Greg, Greg's got such great questions. Don't you have a golf tournament here in Massachusetts
What is
with
your...
hundreds of people while we're supposed to be social distancing? Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
What is your issue with me? This 508 texter says that you're mad at me this morning. I don't feel like that. I mean, I think it's just it's a back and forth that we always do. I don't think they understand.
Did he get an invite to the golf tournament?
He's working. I can't invite him. I mean, he's been
But
at
just
the
an invite. Sometimes
he's been at the golf
Like Uncle
tournament.
Buck, bro. You're like Uncle Buck. I don't want no pancakes with chocolate chips in there, bro.
That's the fourth time you've called me Uncle Buck. I don't know that I'm accepting it, but that's fine. So I'm Uncle Buck in this scenario. All right. Yes. What?
No, I was agreeing that you're like
okay.
Uncle
that's
Buck.
John
All right,
Candy. John Candy played Uncle Buck, right?
What about this is obviously a listener from the old show. Can we get an update before you go on Frank? Is he enjoying being a grandfather?
Oh, he loves it.
He does.
I mean, that's like he's been a grandfather with my brother's little girls, and we have all girls in our family. But my dad, he really loves his family. I mean, that's what his dream was, to be a father, and this has only compounded that dream into a whole another factor that he's enjoying like no other. It's awesome to watch him with my little girl and my mom as well, and it's amazing. It really is. You know, like I said, I've said before, you don't really realize all the things that you hated about your parents bringing up to you, doing this, doing that you thought were so tedious, until you have your own kid and you're like, oh, that's why they were doing that. So he's enjoying it, and it's an awesome experience. It really is.
Has it mellowed him out a little bit?
Oh yeah, he's soft. No, he's soft. Right? He's so soft, especially with my little girl. It's funny. He's definitely changed from when it was 1997 and I was 11 years old, charging the mound on him. So he's with a wad of tobacco in his lip, grabbing a kid's face mask, yelling. I mean, those days are over. I mean, with him, he's
Right.
Long
he's
gone.
just a soft old grandpa now.
All right.
That's usually how they turn out, right?
It's great talking to you, and we'll talk to you again next week, or these guys will. I'm taking a quick vacay,
Yeah.
but we're delighted that we get to talk to you all season long.
Are you really taking a vacation?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? You got a problem with that?
I mean, it's football season, bro.
It's not quite football season. It's preseason. I'm going to take a quick
Well, there's
vacation.
no preseason no more.
I
so.
got I got some traveling to do, and but I'll be back when.
Where can you travel right now, Greg? Where can you travel right now without?
You're allowed to.
No.
The CDC just lifted the quarantine, so you're allowed to travel. I don't know if you're aware of that. I mean, there are people that are living their lives. I mean, there's time marches on, Bubs.
I haven't been really in the headlines with learning about that stuff because we're in training camp and I've been focused on football. So
I mean,
you enjoy.
Your former BFF is breaking guidelines all over the place, holding public workouts
Oh,
in
it's
parks.
Florida, though. Florida's different. They got different rules down there.
Is there rules in Florida?
I believe there's one or two.
Do you ever hear from Gronk, or is he also dead to you?
No, I actually just hit him up. We just spoke or we text.
Yeah.
It was good to hear from him, and I'm excited to see him play, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him back in the game. He's good for football. You know, he's a beast, and I'm looking forward to seeing what my guy's doing.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
we're still bros.
You're bros.
That's it.
Always,
Always
bros. Always bros. All
Forever,
right,
man.
Julian Edelman, thanks for talking to us this morning.
All right, guys.
All right,
All right,
thank
later.
you. There he is.